I have been waiting for 15 years for a sequel to Tron Legacy. I know there's a lot of others out there just like me that have been wanting one and been looking forward to it, only to find out that Tron ARES is not really a sequel to the Legacy movie. And it's really more of a throwback to the original 80s Tron, but a whole new story in itself. We went and watched the Tron ARES movie last night. We watched it in 3D in the XD theater at the Cinemark. Didn't go to the D-box seats, which would have been cool, but didn't want to spend the extra money on that. But I do have to say that the 3D experience was amazing. When you go back and watch the original Tron Legacy movie, and it first is starting up, you see the Disney castle and all the blue lights in 3D, and it's so cool. And when this movie started, Tron ARES, they did that same thing, but it was all red. And I was like, oh, this is gonna be so awesome. And it was. The 3D was incredible. And I love watching movies in 3D because it just brings a whole new experience to it. And not only that, the sound from the XD theater was just shaking and vibrating and rumbling throughout the whole movie. And I was like, man, this is so awesome. But I cannot help but to think I'm a little disappointed. I have mixed feelings about it, but I'm a little disappointed. So talking about the whole 3D experience with it, because this is really kind of what this review is about, I thought the 3D was incredible. I think they did an amazing job. My daughter, after leaving the movie, was like, I felt like it was like just, I was in the movie. It was right there in my face the whole time. And I felt the same way. I was like, man, this is incredible. And I think if you're gonna go watch it, watching it in 3D, and if you can do it in the XD or the really well, the theaters that have the really good sound, it really adds to the experience. That part was awesome. I'm disappointed because I feel like maybe I won't ever see a 3D Blu-ray released. I don't know. They're coming out with so many 3D movies. Are they going to like surprise us with some 4K 3D movies coming out and 4K 3D TVs? I doubt it, but maybe. You never know. I can be hopeful, I guess. Thinking back on this movie and the storyline, I have just wanted a sequel to Tron Legacy for so long, and I know there's many of you out there that are just like me. And when I knew this was coming out, I was so excited. I was like, I cannot wait to go see this. And I purposely didn't watch too many trailers or reviews or sneak peeks on it because I just didn't want to know. I didn't want to have any like preconceived ideas about what it was going to be. I just kind of wanted to go in and be surprised. And so there's a couple things like Tron Legacy, one of my favorite movies of all time, and the soundtrack is my absolute favorite soundtrack ever. I could listen to it from start to finish all day long and never get sick of it. I love it. So going into it, I had some pretty high expectations for the movie itself and the soundtrack. And when I saw that Nine Inch Nails was going to be, that it was all original music in there by Nine Inch Nails, I was like, really? Nine Inch Nails? Like, I remember them from the 90s, and it was like, some of their music was pretty hardcore, and I was like, okay, well, this will be interesting to see how this goes. And the soundtrack during the movie, I was like, yeah, I think I'm kind of liking this. This is pretty cool. This is awesome. And then they threw in some 80s songs in there too, which was so cool. And then I listened to the soundtrack afterwards because I was like, I really want to listen to the soundtrack start to finish. And I found myself wanting to skip most of the songs, which is sad because the original, the Tron Legacy soundtrack was so good. I mean, I literally would not skip one part of that whole soundtrack. So I really had some high expectations, but I really knew like the likeliness of them doing something as awesome as the Daft Punk Legacy soundtrack was probably not gonna happen. So anyways, I was disappointed about the soundtrack, but it was still some good music in there. I was really curious to know, are we going to see Kevin Flynn? Are we going to see Sam Flynn? Are we going to see Cora in this movie? and I won't spoil anything for you, so you'll just have to go see for yourself. But we watched the Tron Legacy movie again, just to kind of prep ourselves for this ARES movie, and then I realized, wow, while I was watching the movie, this is kind of a whole new storyline. It's a totally different deal. And then I was wishing I had gone back and watched the original Tron from the 80s, because it seemed like there was so many more throwbacks to that movie that I was like, dang. So last night I went back and started to watch that again, and I saw so many things. So if you get a chance to watch the original Tron movie before seeing this, that is going to be pretty helpful for you. Not that you have to. And you can watch it after the fact, and then you'll see all of these cross references. But what a fun experience it still was. I really loved the 3D. I was mostly disappointed that it wasn't a continuation and a sequel to the Tron Legacy movie. That's something that we have just been wanting for so many years, and maybe there's still hope. Maybe they are going to work that in the next movie. Maybe, is there going to be a next movie? I don't know, but maybe there will be, and maybe this was just setting this up to bring it all back together in future movie or future couple movies. I don't know. You tell me. What do you think? Do you think there's going to be another one after this? Now I kind of really hope so. I hope that they can bring this Tron Legacy back together with this. I know Disney is, I really am on the fence about everything they do now. It's just, I really kind of expect things to not be done the way the fans want it to be done. They kind of have their own ideas and agendas instead of giving the audience what they want. But maybe they have some master plan that's going to bring it all back around. I don't know. We'll see. There was a lot of really cool 80s stuff in this movie too, which I always appreciate. I actually used to have, and I sold them all some years ago, but had a huge 80s arcade collection, and Tron was one of my prized arcades. I had bought it from somebody for $600, just the original Tron, not the disc of Tron, and I bought it for $600 not working. I did some work to it, I got it working, and it was beautiful. I actually ended up selling it to a collector in Atlanta who has a huge arcade collection, and actually you'll see a lot of his arcades in the Stranger Things movies, because he would provide a lot of the arcades for that. So anyways, he bought it from me for his personal collection, and I kind of miss it and regret having sold it, but at the time, you know, we were moving and I just couldn't take all this stuff with me. And but then I saw when Arcade 1-Up had a Tron come out that included the discs of Tron. I picked that up and it was so cool. I ended up selling that one as well. But Tron has always been something that was just one of my favorites. I even had the Flynn's Arcade neon sign, and I had the Tron neon sign. It's just always been something that has really been like fun for me because of all the 80s like connections to it as well. So there was a lot of cool 80s stuff, a lot of cool 80s arcades, and a lot of 80s references and scenes and stuff, which was really fun. That was really fun. So, you know, the whole storyline is one thing. The actual visual effects and some of the stuff that was in it is a whole nother part of it. So I don't know, all of it coming together, is it something that I loved, hated? I'm mixed. I'm really mixed about it. But I don't know, what do you think? Let me know. Did you see the movie? Did you watch it in 3D? Are you gonna watch it in 3D? And what do you think about the soundtrack? I don't know. Did you like it? Did you hate it? What are your thoughts on the storyline and it not being a continuation of the Tron Legacy movie? What are we going to see in the future? Are we going to see anything, or is there a plan? Is there a master plan to bring all this together?